Where is it? Just, is it here? No, it's not, no, not there. Is it in here? Nope, not in there. Nope, definitely not out there. Hello people of YouTube, what's going on? If you're wondering what I'm looking for, you wanna know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a fuck to give, that's what I'm looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, the Crimson Assassin, and I'm bringing you yet another anime review. And before we actually start the actual review, I want to suggest to you, not really suggest to you, but I want to make a mental note. This anime is an example. This anime is an example of what a overhyped, overdramatic, melodramatic anime is. This anime looked to be really overhyped from a lot of the mainstream media. Hold on, let me just put this in here. This anime was definitely overhyped. And I mean that nicely. The anime that we're about to discuss is Haru. And in English translation, it translates to Blue Spring Ride. So, without really giving you any spoilers, the story of Blue Spring Ride follows a girl named Futaba as one day she meets she knows that there's this kid who goes to their class and she develops feelings for. Well, the boy asked her, Futaba, out on a date, but he never showed up. Turns out, he moved to a new home. Now we're taking 2 years later to when Futaba is now in high school, and suddenly she meets him again. The man goes by the name of Tanaka Ko, but what was different about him was that he changed his name to, I totally actually forgot. But he changed his name and meets Futaba once more. So you think that they're just going to rekindle where they left off at their relationship. Well, actually, what ends up happening was that Tanaka, who is the guy's real name, Tanaka Ko Tanaka, whatever you say, says that we can't go back to the way things were, and we can't rekindle our relationship. So what ends up happening is that they basically rekindle their love relationship, and they try to develop it even further than it already was back when they were kids. And that is Haru Ride. Blue Spring Ride. And like I said before, this was an example of what an overhype, overdramatic, and definitely one of the most I don't really like that. This is the first anime I watched for Romance Month, and yet it gives me this. The best way I could really describe this anime is it's like My Little Monster, but in reverse. Like, in My Little Monster, it was the girl not letting the guy be with her. And Haru Ride, it's the boy not letting the girl be with him. Those two were made for each other. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the creator of Haru Ride was also the creator of My Little Monster. And we all know my feelings about that. But even though I have problems with this anime, definite problems with this anime, there are a few good things that I did like about the anime. Number one, the animation. Breathtaking. One of the most gorgeous animations I have ever seen in anime in a pretty long time. We're talking anime that's just spot on beautiful. I have not seen good animation since 5 centimeters per second. The animation was definitely beautiful. Although, about the animation, we'll get to that when I get to the problems. So that's on a side note for now. Let's start off with the characters. I'll be honest, some characters were good, some characters not so good. Let's start off with the main protagonist of this anime, who has the name of Futaba. There was not a single episode when this girl is not crying. Almost every episode this girl is featured in, she cries at least once. And it irritated me while watching the anime. Like, I shit you not, there's just one episode where she cries 3 times. Not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. It got way too annoying. She's like the shoujo, she's basically what we call a shoujo generic main character, or what a main character as a shoujo girl is. All she does is points out things what she likes about the main character and cry. Hey! On the side note, she's just another stereotypical main character. There are a few qualities about her that I did sort of like the fact that, she's really dedicated to her friends and she's nice. But that's just adding on to the fact that she is basically a generic main character. I'm sorry. Before we get to that, we're still talking about characters here. Damn, my mind's all crazy. Then we have the main character, Ko Tanaka, who I have mixed feelings about him. He's kind, but he's also an asshole. And he's also pretty bland. I mean, he's not to mention that he's actually a well-developed character. You get an understanding on why this character acts the way he acts, and I really did enjoy that. Especially those last couple episodes featuring about him. Those were fantastic. Although, towards like the beginning of the anime, I felt like he was really bland. He was just like, he had like no real personality. He was just like emotionless. He shows no emotion. Like, there's actually a few scenes where he smiles a bit, but that's just about it. That's all he does, It kind of irritated me. Then we have going to side characters, we have the most blandest side character I have ever met. Goes by the name of Morale. And I'll be real with you, I did not like this girl. Mainly because what happened, which we get to our problems, but I'm not getting into her real soon. And as for characters, I don't really want to talk about them anymore. But there's still a few good things about the anime. And last but not least, the good thing about this anime is the fact that it has a good opening and ending scene. I felt like both were really handled really well done. And the score is beautiful. There's this one song in particular that plays through the anime that I really like. And it's so good. I would download that song in a heartbeat. And that's basically all the pros I could basically think of this anime. Let's get to the cons. Like I said, the main character is generic. Your basic stereotypical main shoujo character. But this anime has the nerve of doing a shoujo. I wouldn't say it was just like, this anime throws in a love triangle. And we all know what happens in anime with love triangles. It either ends up pretty badly or pretty badly. That's actually all I could think of. The love triangle was pathetic. It was like one of the most stupidest love triangles I have ever met. It was like, I couldn't really care about the love triangle. Even though I rooted for the main couple, which by the way, I did root for the main couple to happen, even though it never happens. Which is to basically to be expected. I did like... I'm sorry. I did not like the love triangle. I couldn't really give 1,000 fucks about it, which basically explains that opening. I couldn't really give a fuck about shit. Then it has the nerve with a side love story which barely gets any screen time and is the most stupidest side love story ever. Remember that character I mentioned, Morale? She's a part of it. And the reason why I didn't really like about this character was the fact that she's so bland, and yet I couldn't really care about this character. Towards the end of the anime, they give her a few more scenes, but I couldn't really care about this girl. She was bland. I couldn't really care about her. She wasn't developed. She wasn't anything interesting, and I could have gave the flying fuck about her. She was stupid. I didn't like her. Oh my god. Then we have the side characters, once again, being the most underdeveloped characters I've ever seen. You know, going back to Morale again, she's a case. And let's talk about what I mentioned about the animation. Even though the animation is breathtaking, what I couldn't stand was the character designs themselves. What I mean by that, if you were to remove their hair and change the color of their eyes, they all look the same. Now, that's not really a racist comment or anything, you know, but we're just talking in this anime in particular. But if you were to, like, remove their hair and change the color of their eyes a little bit, they look exactly the same. They give out the same expressions throughout the entire anime. If you were to, you know, it's so ridiculous. They were so lazy with the character designs. They put in a lot of effort to the animation, but we'll give this much of the character designs themselves. The fuck? And by the way, like the shirt? Avengers. Like, it is so ridiculous. Like, okay, we'll give a fuck about this, but we won't give a fuck about that. The fuck? And last but not least, the ending. Facepalm is just a way to express how that ending was just, it just ends. And I didn't have any satisfaction towards the ending. When you build up to an ending, you're supposed to have a lead of satisfaction. This anime does not give said satisfaction. I couldn't really care about what was going on in the anime, and I couldn't really care about the ending of the anime. The ending anime did not leave me satisfied, and it did not leave me with any resolve. If they were to make a second season of this anime, would I watch it? That's a definite maybe. Although, maybe if I do watch, if there ever is a second season, would I watch it? That's a definite maybe. I'm not going to read a stupid manga, but I'll reserve that whenever it does. Anyway, this just goes to an example of what an overhyped anime is. And yes, this anime is definitely overhyped. I saw this anime in multiple, numerous social media websites such as iFunny, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like, I saw it everywhere. It got annoying. And all I saw was this anime, this anime, this anime. It's just like, oh god. I didn't like, not to say that I did not like the anime. In fact, I do like the anime, but there were a few aspects to this anime that could have had a few tweaks, like removing that stupid love triangle and adding more side character development. But all in all, what is the final verdict for Haru Ride? It gets a 6 out of 10. It is an okay anime, and I recommend you to watch this anime. For also multiple anime recommendations, which I'm from now on doing, I point you towards My Little Monster. Even though the anime was a complete train wreck, I did like a few certain things about it. It's just that this anime is basically the same thing, but in reverse. So that's why I'm recommending you that. And if you also like to see another romance, romance-esque style of what it is, like another shoujo thing, I also point you towards Clannad. And that will conclude this review. What did you guys think of said Haru Ride? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please explain to the good old Crimson Assassin. I am open to what it is that you like. Anyway, this is now the Crimson Assassin, and I am signing out. Peace.